Welcome back to Marin County Sales Stats, where I get what's actually happening in our market because let's be real, Zillow headlines don't pay your mortgage. Today we're breaking down the fresh, off-the-press August numbers. I'll also zoom out for a quick nationwide check-in because even though Marin often feels like it's on its own planet, it's not. At least not completely. So let's get to it. July's housing market looked a little wobbly. Yes, I said July, because when we're looking at national and state stats, they come out with quite a bit of a lag. Okay, so California sales and prices kept sliding. Pending sales dropped like my Wi-Fi during a Zoom call, and inventory climbed to the highest level in almost 6 years. Translation, homes are stacking up on the shelves while buyers are choking on high mortgage rates. And general, are we in a recession yet? Vibes. Nationally, builders tried to look busy. Housing starts popped up, but the real permission slips, permits, they kept falling, which basically means single-family construction is slowing down. Multifamily demand is still hanging in there because apparently the dream of home ownership is now, I share the walls, but at least I don't have to live in my parents' garage. Meanwhile, buyers are bailing on contracts at record highs. Flippers are ghosting the market thanks to rising costs, and the only ones sweating harder than sellers are contractors, trying to find workers who actually show up. And here comes Jerome Powell, hinting that September could bring a rate cut. The Fed is basically saying, okay, fine, inflation's tamed enough. Let's stop ignoring the fact that jobs are at risk. So what does this all mean for the housing market? I'll tell you that at the end of this video. Oh, by the way, I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, 30-year Marin local, and the person who helps you buy or sell here with your sanity and bank account intact. My info is in the link below. And hey, if you pick up even one useful nugget here, please hit subscribe. It motivates me to keep pumping out this content. Thank you so much. August home sales. Here's what went down in Marin County homes last month. 149 homes closed in July, 27 fewer than the prior month. Pretty significant drop, right? 41 sold over asking, averaging 6% above. 14 sold at about list price, and 94 sold below list price, averaging 10% under. So if you're doing the math, about 28% sold over asking, while a hefty 63% sold under, which is right in the same ballpark as last month. If you want the full scoop, like the actual homes that sold, the numbers crunched, and zero guesswork, it's all in my monthly newsletter. It's the kind of information you won't find anywhere else. The link is also in the description below. Now, onto the charts. Okay, and here is the inventory. It's these light green lines here and bars. And you can see that it dropped from 503 down to 464 houses available for sale right now. What does that represent? That represents a decrease of 7.8%. Yeah, so it sounds like inventory is going down, right? Well, maybe not, because when you compare it to last year, it's actually up 18.1%. So inventory is still higher this year than it was last year, and that's important. Regarding the blue line here, that is the new listings, which continue to go down. Not surprising because we're past the hot spring area when everybody's trying to get on the market. And then sold homes have also decreased. So that is down 21.6% month over month. Not surprising because of the summer, but still that's kind of a big number in the middle of the summer. But anyway, and same month last year would have been just up 0.7%. But when you compare the whole quarter, the much better statistic numbers, that is down 3.2% in sales from last summer. So that is adding to the inventory. And here is days on market. That would be the 54 number of how many days it's sold to sell a house and on average, and it went down to 49 over the same time period from, last month to August. So what happened there? That is a decrease of 9.3%. Zero change though from compared to last year, and still longer when you look at the whole quarter. So again, that's still significant, shows the shifting to things to buyers, because it still takes longer overall to sell a house than it did at this time last year. Now, prices is interesting, right? This is this sales price over the original list price. Of course, that's highly relevant in terms on, like, are people pricing their homes correctly to begin with to sell, or are they lowering the price? So this is based on pricing, originally off at the right price. And what we see is we had these, houses going for much higher than that, or at least a little bit higher. And it did go from 95 to 96 over this month. So just a little better pace on that, or maybe people are pricing better to start with. And the part everybody's waiting for, which is always the prices. So median price that's the blue bars down here. As you can see, it went up a little bit. And how much up? Up 2.2%. And when you look at the full quarter, which is what I care about most, that's no change at all, even though it went up in this short period. It is up 3.3% over last year. But again, it's always so difficult because we have so few houses that actually sell in Marin to be statistically significant. We can also look at the average active price. No, I don't want to look at that. That's 0.4. That's this green line up here, and I just really don't think that tells us a whole lot, except for how far people are off from pricing their homes to sell, right? But this number is always a lot higher because of getting pushed up with the super expensive properties that are on the market that just sit there for months and months and months and sometimes years and don't sell because the prices are so high, because there's so few people that could actually afford those homes. I mean, we're talking like 20 million, that kind of stuff. Anyway, the average sold price is this red line here, and month over last month, it is down 1.4%. But when you look at it last year, it's actually up 18.1%. Okay, that's significant, except for, like I said, it's just 1 month, so not statistically significant. And if you look at the whole quarter, which is a little better, it does still show prices up 2.9%. So let's look at that, little increase over the quarter and look at this price per square foot information to see, just more information, more evidence. Like I said, it's really hard to know exactly what's going on in Marin because so few houses sell. Anyway, when you look at that, the price per square foot went from $901 down to $857. Of course, price per square foot varies so much based on the quality of the home. Are you sitting on the bay or sitting way back, far away from the hub and bub of Marin? Like, closer to the coast, but not close enough to get a view. Price per square foot is wildly different. Oh, could be like a new construction. Okay, we don't have a lot of that, but certainly there are that, number of homes that have been fixed up. So all over the place. Anyway, price per square foot from last month to this month was down 4.9%. When you compare it to last year, it's actually up 5.3%. And when you compare the whole quarterly numbers to smooth that out, it's up 1.1%. So the numbers look a bit firmer than we might have expected, given that Marin has already reached so many of the milestones that occur when a seller's market moves into a buyer's market. If you missed that video where I explained how that all happens, it's worth watching. It's called From Hot Seller's Market to Buyer's Advantage: How It Really Happens. And what did the national news at the beginning of this video mean? Translation: for buyers, you're getting leverage back. More inventory equals more choices. Plus, sellers are already nervous, which means price cuts and under asking deals are back on the menu, or just pricing lower to begin with. For sellers, buckle up. This isn't the bidding wars circus anymore. Homes need to be priced right, staged tight, and marketed like they're auditioning for The Bachelor, because buyers have options now. For everyone else, the market is shifting from red hot to lukewarm leftovers. If rates drop in September, we could see buyers jump back in. But for now, expect cautious shopping and sellers needing to sweeten the deal. If you're checking out homes for sale in Marin or debating whether it's time to sell, you should see some other video recommendations above me that should be there. And don't forget to hit the subscribe so you don't miss my no fluff real estate updates. Thank you for watching and have a great day.